What's up guys, it's GVNZ TV here, back with another video. Today I'm introducing a new series to my channel. It is called Ball Talk, and it's kind of going to be like a podcast where I talk about basketball and just all things to do with basketball, whether it's the NBA draft, just all aspects of the game. I might even introduce baseball, but for now I'm going to stick with basketball. So also guys, I did make a new setup for the background of my videos. I have this little jersey wall right here where we'll put some jerseys. Like right now I have T-Mac, and then I got some shoe drop fronts, and I put that back there. Now I don't even know why I have a Warriors hat back there, but that's what's going on for now. And so my first topic on this series is going to be talking about the Lakers. Now, Lakers are my favorite basketball team, and I'm not trying to be biased, but I feel like the Lakers have the best future for basketball in Los Angeles. Now, with Chris Paul and Blake Griffin, I know they just opted out of their contract. That's why I say that, and it looks like DeAndre Jordan is going to be stuck with being the main player on the team, DeAndre Jordan, JJ Redick. But it's going to be really interesting to actually see where Chris Paul and Blake Griffin go. Obviously, I think Blake Griffin will go to the Celtics. And Chris Paul, they're saying he's going to go to San Antonio or possibly even Houston. But then again, James Harden is running that point guard position, and he just had a historical season, so I don't really know how that's going to go. But go back to the Lakers. I'm not upset that they drafted Lonzo Ball. I just wasn't sure Lonzo was worth it when they drafted him, just worth all the talk and all the media, just because of his dad. I'm not sure if he was worth it because of his dad. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying Lonzo's a great ball player, but I'm not sure if he was worth the second pick just because of all the gossip and the drama. And will he attract players? Will he attract Paul George? Will he attract, I was going to say Jimmy Butler, but he was just traded. Will he attract LeBron? Obviously, having Magic as GM, that will help attract players, but I'm not sure if that will hurt that opportunity to get, say, LeBron or somebody like that. But all depends, I think, how Lonzo does his first year, and if we can get Paul George this year. That would be awesome if we could. The other thing I want to touch base on is the Lakers. The thing why I say they have the best future, not only in Los Angeles, but just of the young teams in the NBA, maybe Minnesota has a better future. Alright, Minnesota probably has a better future. But just because they're in LA and they have such a big market, it's hard to keep stars out of LA for a while. The Lakers, they haven't had, a great team in a while. But that's the same thing I feel like what's going to happen to the Knicks. They will get people who want to play in the Knicks. But for right now, it's just a mess over there. And the Nets, I'm really happy with the trade they made, clearing, because D'Angelo Russell, he had 2 years in the NBA and he did not prove anything. And Timothy Mozgov, dealing with his contract, you don't really need him right now, and really that cleared space for Lonzo Ball. So by doing that trade, you kind of knew that they were going to take Lonzo. Also, with the 27th and 28th pick, I feel like that was a really good opportunity for them. I feel like it was more, to trade. I did hear that they offered the 27th and 28th pick for Paul George, but Indiana turned it down. Obviously, Indiana said they did not want to be bullied into a deal, bullied into trading Paul George away. There's a bunch of teams interested. I also heard that there was going to be a five-team trade to land Carmelo Anthony and Paul George in Cleveland. But nobody's really interested in taking Kevin Durant's contract, and I wouldn't be either. The Pacers, they were looking for that, but they already drafted T.J. Leaf and they have Miles Turner, so they really don't need to take on Kevin Love's contract. And also, shout out to T.J. Leaf and Ike Anigbogu for both landing a spot in the Pacers. I'm also a huge UCLA fan. You guys probably can't see it, but I got a UCLA poster up there. Lonzo Ball got the 2017 poster. But yeah, so shout out to them. And obviously that's why I'm happy that Lonzo's on the Lakers for part of it. Also, the other thing, I feel like drafting Josh Hart for the Lakers drafting him, I feel like it adds kind of, not necessarily it adds kind of more of I would say, a little, like, veteran. I know he's going to be a rookie, but he's a veteran in the fact that he played multiple seasons at Villanova, and he was an outstanding player. So I feel like by drafting him, you kind of open up the doors for the Lakers to be a little bit more wise on the court and off the court as well. But, I feel like that's something that could necessarily attract Paul George. The Lakers is, with getting all these new players, obviously they have opportunities to move them, but it'll be harder for their cap for next season. Like, that's one thing that they said Rob Pelinka was worried about, and that's something that kind of concerns me. But the other thing that I love about that, though, with all the young players, and especially getting Lonzo Ball back in LA, is that brings Showtime back to LA. And that's something that a lot of Lakers fans haven't seen in a while, and they're begging for. Who's going to be the next? Obviously Lonzo's going to be speculated to be the next Magic Johnson, but who's going to be the next Kobe Bryant? Who's going to step up into that role? Obviously Paul George, but if you look at what the Warriors have done, I'm just saying that because they've been to the final 3 years in a row, and they won 2 of those. If you look at what they've done, really the core group of their players, besides Kevin Durant, they drafted. And really that comes with Bob Myers. I think he's the best GM in the NBA. That's my personal opinion. But just how he drafted the players, and that's kind of what you need to build your core around, is drafting players. And that starts with the Lakers making smart picks at 26 and 27. And that's why I'm kind of concerned if they trade. One other thing I want to talk about is the Lakers keeping Brandon Ingram. I know the Lakers, the last couple years, putting Magic Johnson in this role is going to help them make smarter picks. But the last couple years, obviously, D'Angelo Russell so far has been a bust. And Brandon Ingram, he had an average season last year. Didn't have a superstar season. I remember at the draft they said he was kind of the player that was most promising to be an all-star in his first 5 years, and he hasn't shown any of that. He really hasn't proved that. And that's why I'm kind of concerned for the Lakers' future. They've had 3 second round number 2 picks. They've had 3. And so far, all 3 of them, Lonzo hasn't played a game yet, but so far 2 of them haven't proven anything. And that's kind of why I'm scared for the Lakers' future. But also why I'm happy, because they brought in Magic Johnson, and that will help to solve a lot of the problems. The other thing is Julius Randle. Now, I have a Julius jersey, but Julius is kind of a dirty player. He's not my favorite player on the Lakers. But he's not my favorite. Jordan Clarkson's my favorite player on the Lakers, but he's not my favorite player. But I feel like we're gonna need to clear cap space and get rid of him to bring in Paul George. Not this year, but maybe next year, just to keep Paul George's contract. And I really, really strongly feel like the Lakers, you can kind of see what they're doing. Like, you can see what Magic Johnson and Luke Walton and Rob Pelinka are all doing, trying to shape their organization.
Fournier with a throwdown. It's a shot blocker that was there, too.
Left hand.
Bottom 3 in so many defensive categories. If they can bring those together.
No one saw that coming.
Oklahoma City in possession. This is McDermott for Sabonis.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about, young fella. I don't know where your father is, but he had to stand up after watching that play.
Giannis, I'm going to tell you something about what we just saw. Steal slam, Giannis Antetokounmpo, the only player in the league with at least 100 blocks and 100 steals.
Describe
15 points.
Describe that dunk.
Wow. Unbelievable. Sweet. You don't have to describe some of them. Sweet. It's better not to.
DeRozan. Leo loves those little beach shoes. Here's T. Ross with the steal and spins around. 360 slam dunk.
He whirls and jams it through. A 360 by Terrence Ross.
That shot at the end of the North Carolina Kentucky game.
Here's a lob underneath to Nwaba. David Nwaba from Jordan Clarkson with the one-hand jam.
Under pressure.
Oh, Marvin! Bring it down!
Well then.
Watch out below Biyombo.
Magic with numbers, 4 on 3. Gordon going to the dunk. He posterizes Smart. Something pretty buzzing after that one. Aaron Gordon.
AD on the reverse. How about that lob boogie to AD?
That was a catch at 180. Oh my goodness.
Dragic, 7 on the shot clock. James Johnson with 4 to shoot. Drives in. What a dunk! A blocking foul inside. That's the dunk of the year on James Johnson. Got to count the shot. James Johnson with one of the most incredible dunks you have ever seen. 7 on the shot clock. James Johnson with 4 to shoot. Drives in. What a dunk! A blocking foul inside. That's the dunk of the year on James Johnson. Got to count the shot. James Johnson with one of the most incredible dunks you have ever seen.